I'm gonna have to get used to looking here and not here, but we're fine. We'll get over it. So my name's Polly and I haven't actually yet set up my YouTube channel, but I thought I might as well because a couple of things are going on and I need to set this up. Basically, I was gonna start my YouTube channel off by doing, I don't know, 50 facts about me or my top 5s or introducing Polly, something along those lines, until I came across TikTok and everyone seems to be really interested in the fact that I lost my job at Primark. I thought it'd be easier to make the story time on YouTube because I can speak for longer than 60 seconds, because I waffle. Just to start everything off, I don't want anyone to think that I hate Primark. I actually love Primark. I have Primark socks on. I have Primark pyjama bottoms on. I absolutely love it. Love the shop. I worked there. I worked in 2 different stores. I'm not going to say either of the ones I worked in. I left the first one after 4 weeks just because it was really, really far. And the second one I left, well, this was my experience of working in Primark and a story time as to why I lost my job. So first things first, I worked in this Primark for 1.5 years, and I can say, to be fair, working in this Primark, I actually did love it. Like, I think if I'm going to be completely honest, the people make the shop what it is. Like, the workers there, like, I had so many friends there, I can't actually fault, like, friends that I speak to today. Absolutely love them all. There was some downsides to working at Primark, like, they're quite strict, which I think is fair enough. Like, it's a really, really busy environment. That is not me. I'm not even a retail worker. It's so fast paced, and so the managers have to be so on top of you, which there's ways of going about it. We'll just put it that way. I don't think I really had any bad customer experiences in Primark, apart from, oh, actually somebody did call me, but it's fine. So I was getting on fine. I was working in Primark at weekends. I did like 4 hours on a Saturday, 4 hours on a Sunday. I was a till person, so like I was meant to stay on the tills. At like Christmas and stuff, I was always put on the Christmas jumper table. And I know that sounds really pathetic, but like, they'd be like, Polly, Christmas jumpers, and I'd be like, oh, because you literally have to stand and fold as people pull it out. So like, you fold it all really neatly and then someone just pulls it out, which is the whole point of Primark, and I actually do it myself. But yeah, it just used to annoy me. So anyway, this particular, I think it was a summer actually, I don't know for certain, but I think it was in the summer, I made the poor decision of, I wanted to go to Longley, which is a zoo basically, for anyone that doesn't know what Longley is. I wanted to go to Longley instead of go to work. So I thought, oh, well, I'll have to call in sick at work. Anyone who's going to employ me now, like, I won't call in sick at work. I rang up at 5 in the morning. Now, if you know Primark, you know it really doesn't open at 5 in the morning. But I knew that. I knew that there would be nobody in the office at 5 in the morning. So I rang in at 5 in the morning because I'm so anxious on the phone. I was like, I can't speak to a real human being. I need to leave a voicemail. If you work in Primark, don't leave a voicemail as calling in sick, because it doesn't work, okay? So I popped off on my merry way to Longley. 8 o'clock in the morning obviously rolls around and they're like... Now, I didn't realise that the actual rule in Primark was that you have to speak to a human when you call in sick. Like, you can't just leave a voicemail, you actually have to speak to somebody. Well, I didn't know that. So they kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me, and my shift was meant to start at like 2. And I was like, I've called in sick, they don't need me, it's fine. That was the first problem, because I'd been caught out of sick. Because of that, I got a disciplinary. Now, a disciplinary is basically like I got a telling off and a strike against my name because I'd not rang in. And I was like, it's fine. Until the following week, I went into Primark and one of the managers we didn't get on, okay? She didn't like me, I knew she didn't like me. She came to me, now as a till person, right, I was literally on menswear, so I was either on the men's tills or men's clothes. So she comes to me this day, one of the busiest days of the year, one of the hottest days of the year, and she turns around and says, Polly, could you go on shoes for me, please? I literally looked at her and was like, wow. I'd never done shoes before, but all I knew is that it was a mess. So, go over to shoes, and there you have a size 4 pair of shoes. One's over here, one's over there. Size 6 is hanging from the ceiling. Size 7's hanging on the floor. One black shoe, one white shoe, one flip-flop, one boot. No, I literally looked at it and was like, I can't do this. So I tried my best, and I think I was on there for like an hour and a half, picking up shoes, pairing them together, sticking them up on the rail. I thought it looked quite clean, but obviously in that hour and a half that I was cleaning the shoes up, there were still people coming and putting them on the floor. It's never going to be clean in shoes, okay? It's never going to be clean. There I am, doing my shoe bit. She comes back over and she goes, okay, that's enough, like you can go back onto t-shirts. So I'm there over on t-shirts, I'm having a little chin wag, loving life, and then I can hear somebody talking in front of me and I'm like, and then I heard my name and I was like, So I looked and her back was to me, like here. I was just stood there like folding t-shirts like innocently, like wonder if I've done something good. And she's talking to my friend so he could see me and she couldn't. She decided that she was going to rip me down as a person and tell him how lazy I was and how rubbish I was at doing the shoes. And, you know, she didn't put the shoes back together. She basically stood there for an hour and a half and did nothing. And I stood there behind her like, I'm here. She soon got the gist when she turned around and seen me. And I was like, that's it, I've had enough, right? I spent so long pairing up shoes coming out of my ears. She said that I'd done nothing. I was like, you are having a laugh. I stood there for an hour and a half. Whew. I'd heard her talking about me. She'd slagged me off. She, you know, spoke about me. That's fine. You carry on, love. Like, whatever. So I left my shift. The following weekend comes up and I'm like, do you know what? I'm not going. I am not going to work today. But I'll tell you where I am going. I am going to Nando's. There I am, ringing up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It's Polly, I won't be in today. Didn't speak to a real human being. Already had a disciplinary for doing that. Already got told off because I was rubbish at folding shoes. Rubbish at putting shoes together. I went to Nando's, didn't I? I then get a phone call and I'm like, do you know what, I'm just going to answer it. Another disciplinary for ringing in sick at 5 in the morning and not speaking to a human. Understandable, don't get me wrong, I actually understand, I do, I get it. I was annoyed because she said I was rubbish at shoes, which I probably was, but you know. To say it in front of all the customers and I was just not happy about it. Set up a meeting, went with my mum, went to this meeting and they basically said if I didn't quit I was going to be dropped and I was a bit like, I quit! And they were like, good. So I lost my job at Primark, but it didn't stop me going in there. Because I still shop in that same Primark now, still see the manager, don't talk to her. But I actually love Primark, so I wouldn't slate it, and I would actually recommend working there, like, actually would recommend it. I just couldn't stick it, probably because I actually was bad at the job. That was that. That's my story time. Now, as for any other, I know I'm going to be asked this question, I actually know because I'm psychic. As for any other, like, little secrets about Primark, I have a lot of those, so they're going to keep coming, but I wanted to post the story time, and I didn't want to post it on TikTok, because could I have said this in 60 seconds? Yes, but am I capable of doing that? No. So enjoy my first YouTube video. I will post a second one where I actually explain who I am. Give me a little subscribe. Leave me a little comment down below just so like I can see what, you know what you want to see. I want to do a few things. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my first video. I'll see you in my next one, and that's me for now. Bye.